What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review today, coming at you courtesy of my VOD checker program. As is usually the case with this thing, we are starting after the first augment, and today we are watching DaeHoon. So DaeHoon is a player on the Korean server, sitting at about 1,000 LP. Let's see, yeah, 1,100 LP right now. So, challenger on the Korean server and doing quite well. I'm pretty sure I put DaeHoon into my like lol chess checker program initially because DaeHoon was playing a lot of like TF reroll and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, that's like a really kind of like niche reroll comp that not too many people have like caught on to yet, so I'm interested in checking that out. But this is actually a completely different idea. So you see here, we're starting the game off with the prismatic ticket here, and DaeHoon opts into playing a reroll comp that I haven't really seen anyone opt into. So I mean, we'll just watch and see as the game goes on. But it's a pretty cool idea here with the prismatic ticket here. So we so far just have a powder two, a couple of violets, not so many, but enough to maybe think about playing something like Family Roll. It's kind of funny, we did the last VOD review on the dish soap game where he just completely opted out of the comp whatsoever, and this game, it's almost like DaeHoon is opting into it. Picks up the glove here, tends to be a very, very solid component if you want to play around units that like crit chance, which I don't know, maybe that's a hint of what we're going to play towards this game. But yeah, we'll see. Pick up the violet too, which is really, really nice here, and the trundle too. We're actually finding upgrades galore in this spot. But DaeHoon knows that like if you take prismatic ticket, you're not going to be very strong in the early game, just because I mean you're essentially playing down an augment until you get a lot of that like reroll value. So DaeHoon just kind of opting into the loss streak here, which I think is nice. When you know that you are likely to loss streak, why would you make a bunch of like slams in a spot like this, some suboptimal slams, when you could just greed for good items? Tends to be when you have a loss streak opener like this, that you can just do exactly this. Greed your items, wait until Krugs to make your slams here, and just play like a solid loss streak game. And that's exactly what DaeHoon is doing in this spot. So I think makes perfect sense, and we'll see where the game goes from here, honestly. But yeah, we're fighting. Wow, this guy's double rebel spat. Oh my god. Wow. So that guy got the spat off carousel and then got the tactician's cape and then made the thingy as well. I mean, that's actually insane. I mean, that person has like possibilities of winning the lobby if they can get to 10 rebel, but I mean, obviously it's far from guaranteed, but I mean, definitely something that people could be scared of. Okay. Going into Krugs here. If we were to want to play around Family Reroll, 3 violets, 4 powders, 1 Vander, I would say pretty good, right? Note also that we're not holding on to stuff like the Draven, like the Darius. This is not the kind of like standard version of Family Reroll that we've seen in the past. Actually, just full slams the BT here as he gets the items. And I do think if we want to play towards these family units, yeah, you would certainly normally here roll down a bit. But this is also kind of an interesting little wrinkle onto it. Not going to roll down a lot. Also, look at these item slams. Shojin Guardbreaker leaves the glove for scrap value, builds the BT, and yeah, it's just completely fine using all of these AP items onto the powder here. So you can start to see like, well, normally Family Reroll, it's all about the violet, especially back in the 4-star violet days, it was all about, can I get a 4-star violet and can I play around her? This setup that DaeHoon is playing towards, not so reliant on the violet, actually, more interested in, potentially the powder. So let's see it as we continue on here. I mean, none of these augments are amazing. I mean, I guess a Spear's Will is not bad in this spot. I don't know, maybe some kind of Crown's Will weird situation. I don't know. Spear's Will seems fine enough. And yeah, we are going to pick that up here and then start slow rolling on level 5. So we haven't really seen much of the board that we want to play yet, but now you can start to see. So we're going to fit into Ambusher with the Camille here. We're also actually going to roll a little bit deeper than even I thought we were going to roll. I thought stop 140 made sense, but yeah, the double BT is going to come down. I mean, this is kind of the slam that you have to make if you're taking sword here. You're not just going to sit on these components forever, especially when double BT is like good enough here. But you can start to see we're fitting in some ambushers on this board, and so I guess we can start talking about just like the idea from DaeHoon this game, especially now that we pick up the Echo. It fits beautifully here. Is that, I mean, there is obvious inbuilt synergy in that in family and ambusher, in that you have a family ambusher unit in the powder. Echo also fits really nicely for Scrap and Ambusher later, and so this is actually going to be a family Ambushers game. So we're rolling for these family units, but also we're holding on to these Camille's. We can also potentially go for the Smeech, and it's a line that's playing a lot more around the Powder as opposed to normally you're getting in like the Pit Fighter and stuff like that, and obviously like the Draven Darius setup is not present here. So I don't know, it's a cool little innovation on the family comp here. I'm actually surprised. Yeah, I feel like the chain is the obvious take here. You can just get to make the Titan's Resolve for sure. And, it's not that we're not going to play around, these AD Bruiser items. They can go onto Violet, and then, the second that we end up getting to something like a Camille 3, we can move items to her. We're also even putting the Titan's Resolve onto the Echo. I like this a lot as well, just because this Echo unit, he just feels completely unreasonable this patch. I feel like if you think about like 4-cost balance, he is just not reasonable at all. So yeah, also a nice Powder ult, almost saves this fight, but we still are going to end up losing it here. 1 off Powder 3. Actually kind of shocked that we didn't roll down. Yeah, we're so close to everything here. I'm shocked we didn't roll it down just to 40 here. I wonder if that was we sold an extra Violet there, right? Yeah, we sold Violet for Vander here. It makes sense, right? This version, you really don't care that much about Violet 3, though we are going to end up making it. Also, note that we skipped on some of the Camille's, so I think this is something that a lot of people have read on. It's kind of interesting, actually. Even in this version of the comp, even the version where we're playing the Camille as an Ambusher, also we do a full lobby scout there, so I don't know. Do we want to do it? Yeah, let's do a quick full lobby scout here, bring it down to like 70% speed. Is that even reasonable at all to look at? Just to see, well, when do we scout? There we go, right there. Sork player, us, Visionary player, Enforcer player. There's the Rebel player who's already 7 Rebel, and then this guy who's playing Academy. Okay, I think that's a good enough generalist scout. I don't have to scout every person super hard, but a lot of +1s hanging around in this lobby. The Powder, though, like quite good damage. You can see, sadly, I don't have the damage chart here, but it looks like a lot, and we are still 1 off that Powder 3, and there she is, boom. So now we can start looking at pushing levels, but yeah, I guess the other interesting thing that, I was noting on that roll down is that, maybe it was just because DaeHoon was so close to the Violet 3 that he said, why not just end up picking up the Violet 3? But he really was not looking for Camille 3 there. And yeah, look at that, not holding the Camille's at all. I think this player makes the call, and it's not an unreasonable call whatsoever, that Camille 3 is just a bait, that this unit does not do enough on... I was going to say this board, but really on any board. And so why would we actually end up playing around Camille 3? It's actually crazy, the prioritization here. Like, we would much rather... there's a few crazy things here, but I think in the context of the patch and how balanced the units are, like, I think it's pretty reasonable. So let's talk about when we get back to our board after the augment. Also holding onto the Scars here, just because, once again, fits really, really nicely on this board, Firelight and Watcher. And yeah, the family crown I think is actually probably best case scenario here. We immediately reroll those really, really quickly. But this has been talked about before. I think if you go on to like TFT Academy, it says the best holder family emblem is Echo. And the stats agree that Echo is fantastic with family emblem. So I think this makes perfect sense. It's just everything that family emblem does is quite good for Echo. So this is... I don't know, honestly, maybe even BIS Echo. But just going back to the idea of this board, like, we're itemizing an Echo 1 over a Violet 3, and, now we're 4 Ambusher, 2 Firelight, so, it makes more sense, but even before that we were, and honestly, I don't know if I can disagree with this. Like, Echo feels like such a monster. Violet feels completely fine, but we're not playing into Violet with any of these traits, right? For family, sure, but the Ambusher is all going into the Echo, and Echo's now family as well. And then also not going for the Camille 3. Camille 3 has just been so nerfed from her heyday of being a broken unit. You get, the Ornn items and you just auto win the game. So once again, like, why would we play around Camille 3 when we could play around Smeech 3, who's just way, way, way better? And the big thing is that we get to save our gold, that we're also even playing for the Vander 3. Like, we get some extra gold to be able to get for something like a Vander 3, something like a Smeech 3. So I don't know, I actually really, really like the unit priority out of DaeHoon, and I'm excited to see where this comp goes from here. There is a pan on carousel here, and ooh, okay, we can't end up picking up, so we're just gonna take Cloak here onto Echo. This is Echo pair, which is really nice. If we can find Echo on 7, we'll be so pleased. I imagine we are going to stay 7 for not only the 3-star Smeech, but also, the 3-star Vander we can find as well. I guess more Vander first and then Smeech after that, if we can get there. So yeah, actually a little bit of a roll here. I was wondering if we were going to use our free refreshes. I think it's fine to use your free refreshes here, not dip below 30, but still, like, if you're a high roller and you hit Echo, you can be really really pleased with it, I think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, the board is like aggressively okay right now. You can see when we fight, I mean, what are we fighting? Actually, this is the Rebel guy, right? Zoe 2, Jace 2 with Rebel spat, and they have the 2 Rebels in, so there's 7 Rebels. How? I actually don't understand. All their only econ augment is slamming. How did they get to a Jace 2? But okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're certainly not going to beat this board. That board is... I don't know how that board is legal, Mr. Mortdog. Okay, this is something I was really curious, actually, is what anomaly do you go for here? I mean, even something like Killstreak sounds kind of interesting for the powder, but do you want to anomalize powder? I mean, I think it would probably make sense to anomalize like Echo here, but I don't know, I'm really curious. Really in the tank, actually, thinking about this Killstreak, like, do you want it or not? And it is going to be the powder anomaly, so this is a little bit more tempo for now, I would say. Like, this is definitely strong for now, though I do think the second we hit Echo, like, I'm curious actually to look at damage charts here to see how much Echo is doing compared to the powder. Also, this is a nice, like, the comp fits together really, really beautifully if you're holding on to this Violet or the Vi here to level up for eventually, which is double trait as well, though Enforcer is like pretty fake. I want to see powder. Well, I guess I can't see powder versus Echo damage, but okay, I mean, to be fair, that powder did just like one tap the entire backline. Okay, is Amateur Family Powder like actually kind of a beast? I don't know. This is just not a comp that a lot of people I have seen it all play for, but I mean, it looks surprisingly good. I mean, this prismatic ticket, like econ augment, like reroll oriented econ augment feels like one of the only ways you can get here because you need so much, right? You need the powder 3. You ideally would want the Smeech 3 as well. I mean, you want to get to Echo, so like it's pretty tough. Also, these anvils are on their side. Okay, so that guy ended up in 6 scrap. Here, I'll bring it down to 60% speed for the scout as well here, just so that you guys can see it, what the lobby's got going on. Yeah, let's bring it down here. Sentinel, 7 Rebel, us again, Emissary Sorks, Visionary, Emissary Player, Enforcer, Scrap. So I would say pretty standard lobby. That Scrap person looks pretty strong. I would say the other person looks really, really strong as well. Ooh, there is a Mel. Interesting. All right. We're taking items to finish off items on Smeech. I mean, this makes perfect sense. Hodge is so good. And also, we are now 1 off Smeech, so going to roll it down. Also, now we're going for Camille, which is kind of funny. We skipped the Camille's earlier, but I think DaeHoon's saying, like, at this point, like, why not hold on to the Camille's? Like, it's free. Like, it's not like I'm losing. I mean, I guess he's going to lose a little bit of econ here, but, you know, it's not the end of the world to hold on to these Camille's, though. Honestly, I still, like, I'm kind of not convinced that it's correct to build Camille 3 here, but okay, we are going to build it just as, I mean, at the end of the day, she is a 3-star unit that, you know, is going to be extra tankiness on your board. I don't know. This is a weird board. Like, I think if you could skip Camille 3 and Violet 3, you probably would, but also DaeHoon is just kind of like natural them, so it's like, well, why would I just, you know, go and skip them when I could get them for free, essentially? And I mean, it's hard to argue with that logic. Also, Echo kind of beasting here, but is it enough to get through? Oh my god, it is. That's a fight where damage chart would have been juicy. Like, oh my god, the damage must be insane there. But okay, we've hit our entire board here. A lot of weird stuff, honestly. I guess the other cool thing about this board is, I mean, you have 6 different units that you can reroll for, right? The 5 that we have 3-starred, and then you also have the Scar that you can roll for. And so you have like all these different outs, right? You know, if you miss on something like a Smeech, but you hit Camille, it's obviously like weaker, like we were talking about, but you know, seems like it's a possible out. Even if you hit just Violet 3, that's something. Or if you don't hit Violet 3, who cares? The main core thing that it looks like we're playing around this entire game is just the powder. I mean, that's everything, right? It's the family, it's the ambusher, it's all that kind of stuff. So I think, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Item wise here, we're just looking for Smeech item, right? I mean, the only really takeable one is Gunblade. I guess we go Gwinsu. Oh, Spark, and then move the Titans over. Duh. Yeah, I mean, this seems way better. Actually, you get an item for Echo, and you get an item for Smeech, and you get BIS items on like both, basically. Oh. I think that's just wrong. I'm pretty sure that's just a mistake. I mean, I know Titan's Echo is good, but there is no way we are not getting our 3rd Smeech item here. I think that's like literally just trolling, but I mean, hey, nobody's perfect, I guess. But yeah, I can't imagine that is ever correct. It's funny because I was like, oh, that's so smart to take the Spark. And then I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, I guess you can say Spark is an aura item, so we'll put it on Camille, and then we'll get to an item for these guys later. I guess that's the idea, but I still don't really buy it. I mean, you have more removers. I mean, I guess you're only going to have one more later, but that's kind of all you need if you want to move the Spark later, whatever. And also we end up bowing the Smeech, so we're getting, like no scrap value, obviously. I mean, that's not bad. I do think it's kind of actually really awkward to get scrap value here, because like if you're scrapping this bow onto powder, sometimes you're just gonna roll like Renans and be down an item. So I don't think that's the way to go about it. I do think you just do ignore scrap in this spot. Also, just ignore player HP, man. It is 5-7 here, and it's a top 3. This is kind of crazy, lobby HP wise. Also, obviously, like the max cap for this board is 5 amateur, which hopefully we can get to. The ideas on 9, though, maybe if you high roll, you can definitely play it on 8. All right, let's get our Smeech item here. Also, we missed out on a little bit of gold here. That's a bit sad. A lot of trash. I mean, I guess you could take IE. It's probably not horrible. It's not good, but it's, not too bad, and it's an item at the end of the day, which is all you need. The roll down on 8's actually pretty surprising to me as well. Maybe DaeHoon is just saying, like, I'm probably, like, this guy is really, really strong, and the other guy is probably really strong as well. I just want to be as strong as possible for them. I mean, this is a scary scrap board, but wow, actually, we kind of destroy them. I mean, that is a fully upgraded scrap board. That's also a Warwick. Wow, we just skipped the Warwick completely and keep the Vi2 in. I wonder if the Warwick's ever better than Vi2. Also, I guess our game plan here is 3-star Echo. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I can't agree with some of this stuff at the end of the game, I will say. I mean, the other player FF'd, so I guess the idea is that, like, the only way that we are... and is this guy... Yeah, they are definitely 10 Rebel, right? 1, 2... Well, I guess you can just count the Rebel units. 1, 2... I mean, you could just... They have 10 units on their board and they're all Rebel, is the way to figure that out. And I mean, they have the Jinx. So yeah, it's just a 10 Rebel setup. So, I mean, okay. So, I mean, yeah, that person reached 10 Rebel. So that's pretty smart, actually. The only way that we can win this game is rolling for Echo 3. Yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty smart to just play for your out here and hope that you high roll Echo 3. And if you don't, then, why are we going to waste time in this game trying to play a game that's, clearly going to be a second. So actually pretty smart from DaeHoon. This is the best TFT ever, which is optimizing your time. We lose this fight, realize that there is no way that we are hitting Echo 3, so just a quick FF. But still a really, really cool top 2 from DaeHoon on a comp that I just I don't think this is something that a lot of people are playing for. I want to pull up like TFT Academy and see if this is something that like like if you look at something like this, it's still this kind of standard version of family. I don't think people are really like, and we could also go into like comps here and look up something like powder plus I mean, you can kind of see it appearing here, but this is still not like family version. So yeah, I don't think this is a comp that's really on anybody's radar, and it certainly looked really, really strong this game. So if you guys have games on it, let me know how they go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video as always. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks as always for watching. Bye.